Good morning, and thank you for everybody for coming to the 4th Annual Children's Memorial Flag Ceremony. My name is Jayson Vial, and it is my somber duty today to open the ceremony. A little bit about myself. I am the Facilitator Supervisor for the wraparound process here in Lassen County. Most of you guys know me. Through my time in wraparound, I've worked with many different families who have experienced some level of domestic violence. I have met the victims of child abuse. I've seen firsthand the different ages, genders, cultures, and socioeconomic backgrounds. So when I was asked to speak today, naturally I sat down and thought about what I wanted to say. Most people know that I'm a data guy, love the numbers, so naturally I ended up with statistics. So some of the statistics I wanted to share with you guys today is a report of child abuse is made every 10 seconds. Let that sink in for you guys. We are going to do a moment of silence. That's 60 seconds. So keep that in perspective as we go through. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. And a lot of you guys might be asking yourself, what can I do to prevent child abuse? The easy answer is report. Report, report, report. It's very important. Call and report when you suspect that a child is being abused or neglected. Most reports I've seen personally have come from community members, teachers, family, friends, and neighbors. Caring individuals. So please keep an eye out and do the right thing. Don't just sit with that uncertain feeling and never report, because it is you, the adult, that is often the one that has to report for the child who cannot. So keep that in mind. Between 5 to 6 children die a day as a result of child abuse or neglect. Sorry, that chokes me up a little bit. I don't know if that chokes you guys up a little bit too. That number I feel like is far too high. So today, like we've mentioned, we are gathered here for the Children's Memorial Day, a day designated to remember all of those children that we have lost. I'm going to turn the mic over to Dave Woginrich. Did I nail it?
Close enough.
Close enough. From the Lassen County Sheriff's Office, who will read this year's proclamation. Then our District Attorney, Melyssah Rios, will say a few words and we will raise the Children's Memorial flag. And at that time, we will observe that moment of silence I talked about. Followed by our last speaker, my boss and personal mentor, Jenna Aguilera, the Director of Social Services. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Dave.
All right, thank you. No need to stand up for me. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here. A couple days ago, I was asked to read this, and I felt very, very honored to do that. So thank you for choosing me to come do this. Okay, the proclamation introduced by Assembly members Parada, Arona, Figueroa, Leach, Sweeney, and Torlakson, April 23rd, 1997. House Resolution number 25, relative to Children's Memorial Day. Whereas, throughout America, tragic acts of violence against children are occurring with increasing frequency and senselessness, destroying innocent lives and devastating families and communities. And whereas the people of the state of California have lost too many children in violent, preventable deaths through guns, fire, automobiles, physical violence, and suicide. And whereas the people of California believe in the celebration of life, diversity, and hope for the future through our children, and deplore and condemn acts of violence committed upon the children of our communities. And whereas on November 1st, 1996, Alameda County and the East Bay Regional Park District dedicated a Children's Memorial Grove with the planting of young oak trees and the creation of a stone circle of remembrance as a place of peace and honor to young lives lost. And whereas Alameda County has created a Children's Memorial flag to be flown whenever a child's life is lost to criminal violence. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Assembly of the State of California that in memory of California's children who have died in violence, the fourth Friday in April is hereby proclaimed as Children's Memorial Day throughout the state. And be it further resolved that the Children's Memorial flag be flown on this day each year by the state in remembrance of those young lives that were cut short by senseless violence. Thank you. Ms. Rios?
Thank you, everybody. In just a moment, we'll be raising the flag, and it is again my honor to stand before you and read some words about what the raising of this flag means. I'm going to give them just a second to get over there. Can everybody hear me okay? Yes. Okay. California's Office of Child Abuse Prevention's vision is for each county in the state of California to participate in a moment of silence and reflection on this day to honor the young lives lost to violence. So many of our nation's children have lost their lives as a result of violence and neglect, inflicted oftentimes by the very people entrusted with their health and safety. So please join me for a moment of silence as we remember those young lives lost.
And I thank you all for coming. This is probably one of our best well-attended ceremonies. My name again is Jenna Aguilera, and I'm the director of Lassen County's Community Social Services Department. And one of the units within this department is your local child welfare agency that investigates local reports on child abuse and neglect, child and family services. As Child Abuse Prevention Month nears its end, our work to prevent child abuse does not. It is imperative to say that in times of crisis and economic insecurity, rates of child abuse and neglect increase. As our community is experiencing added stress and economic instability, such as unanticipated job losses, there is a significant risk for increased family violence, including child abuse, especially among families that were abusive prior to the current events. All adults need to be aware of their responsibility to protect children. You are essential to child safety. As we close this ceremony, this year's flag raising is especially poignant because Lassen County, for the first time in 7 years, lost a child due to parental neglect. Awareness and advocacy are critical to child abuse prevention and intervention, and together we can prevent child abuse. So thank you all for coming today. I appreciate it.